Hey everyone, I am going to review some of the top salon booking software options out there, especially those that are designed to provide good features and have easy user friendliness with a lot of different features that you might need, like payment processing, client management, and of course, regular appointment management. So I'm going to start over here with Square. So Square is a great option. What I love about Square is that it's perfect for people who are working on commission or independent, and it's very easy to set up. So when you're setting up appointments, you can just use this easy dashboard right here if you're on your computer, right? And there are a lot of different views here. You have your appointments. You can check out your calendar. So you start right away with this calendar feature. Very easy calendar, simple, clean, effective. You can add things like the wait list. You can see who is currently on your wait list. You can put in a request. Let's say you want to add a request for a client. We're going to create a new client over here. We're going to say John Smith. All right, now let's add John. John wants to be added to the wait list because we don't have time for him today, but he wants to see if there's availability on Wednesday, even though we don't have any appointments. So we're going to say between noon and 3 p.m., and that's his new preference. So we'll add the service based on what he needs, quick haircut, and any available staff member. I'm going to add that service right here. If there's a staff note, I can add it, and then I can just save, whoops, to be added to that wait list to see if anything pops up. And when it does, it automatically notifies John that there is availability in his time slot, so he'll know to come. Over here, you can see pretty easy setup for managing your different online booking channels. If you are using your website, if you're connecting with people in the salon versus people online, connecting with your social media platforms, you can manage your online bookings right here. You can say, you can see right here, they can enable online bookings for things like Google, Instagram. You have a lot of options here. There are some advanced widgets. Now, I will say the only downside that I have with Square is that you can't set up a deposit. So the appointments are pretty easy. You can see here there's a lot of easy things. Unfortunately, there's no way to set up a deposit requirement. There's only a way to set up full payment after the fact. Now, the downside there is that if you are an independent stylist, you are bound to run into those people who just cancel or don't show up. And that's just lost income if you're using Square because there's no other option for putting down something like a 50% deposit. So on that note, I am going to pop over here to Aura. Now, Aura is something I recently came across. Pretty big fan based on what I'm seeing so far. So this is designed for salons, as it says, a next generation salon. So you have digital forms, you have this online wallet, and it's fully customizable to your brand. Now, as I mentioned, the downside with Square, despite the fact that it's free if you are an independent stylist, is that you can't add things like deposits. So over here, you can reduce the no-shows and cancellations with Aura with those automatic text reminders and the booking deposit. So that can cut down on your financial losses, especially if you have a lot of last minute bookings. And we've all been there as stylists. We've all had to deal with those people who don't show up. And honestly, though, even with the cancellation policy, you might find people who try to work their way around that policy by rescheduling at the last minute. Nonetheless, this does cut down on that lost revenue and of course protects your time. So some of the things you can do here is add, again, your information. So whatever your spa brand is, this just integrates with it pretty easily. And then you can just book right there. You book now, they can put in their email, they can put in their information. Now we're going to see here that when you book this particular setup, if you're looking at it from an internal perspective, it has a very similar calendar function. You can manage your appointments on your phone, and you'll see there's this calendar section here so you can see what your availability is when you are adding clients. There's also the option of accessing your information from your computer, which of course makes it a little bit easier to manage depending on your circumstances. So I'm going to pop over here to Fresha. So Fresha is another option. This one is a slightly more affordable booking software for salons because it does have a commission-based pricing model. So it makes it really easy to manage your appointment, send out auto reminders, and of course, facilitate the sale at the end of your appointment. So it's a really strong contender if you are looking for a platform that has some of the same basic booking features without an ongoing subscription cost. So as I mentioned, Square is free if you are by yourself, but it is pretty limited in the other forms of support it has. So by comparison, Fresha is going to have a few more advanced features with that commission-based model. So as your sales grow, so will your cost of management with this model. So the one thing I don't like about Fresha, just right off the bat, is of course, they're just icons. That's, to me, not really as easy to work with, but that could just be me. So this icon with a person inside of a box is your online booking. So once you're here, you can set up different booking functions. So they have a marketplace. You can create your marketplace profile for your business. You can set up reservations so people looking for your information on Google can make an appointment. And then of course, Facebook and Instagram bookings and other link builders. Now for you internally as a salon, you have your calendar here and you can easily just click on a time and then add an appointment. So we have a quick haircut. We're going to add a haircut for Sarah at noon, and we just save that, and now Sarah has a walk-in appointment. Now, if we have a client already created, let's say 2 o'clock, she might want to block time after this appointment. So we'll add another quick appointment, and that's for a hair color. And done. Doesn't repeat. And then right about here, as soon as she's done with that hair color, we're going to add some block time because Sarah needs her 30-minute lunch. So we have a simple custom block time, your automatic 30-minute lunch, 1 hour paid training, meeting if we have to have a meeting, and of course new categories. You can add things like coffee break, training break, whatever you have, and whether it's paid or not paid. So for the sake of Sarah, we're going to add in her lunch right there, unpaid, and now she has her lunch on the calendar. Now I will say the downside here is that of course you don't have the same type of customer management when it comes to booking your appointments. As you saw when I tried to add an appointment, there's really not a lot of options here for anything other than adding a new client, adding a walk-in. Now assume you have someone like Jane Doe. The profile is pretty limited, so you're not going to see much. You can add their birth date. You can see when they were added to your management software. You can add pronouns, but other than that, their profile is going to be pretty limited, pretty basic. So that leads me over to GlossGenius. So GlossGenius is a very effective booking software, but I will point out that it's not available in Canada. So it's a huge problem for anyone who is working out of Canada. It's a really great software, but it's not going to be available to you. So if you are not in Canada, you can manage online bookings with this particular process through Instagram, Facebook, Google, Yelp. They make it pretty easy to use the platform with a calendar function, and you can do things like set up pre-appointment waivers or block time immediately after an appointment if, like Sarah, you need to take that lunch break. So it also gives you the option of preventing no-shows and cancellations with this deposit requirement. So as someone who's dealt with a lot of last-minute cancellations and a lot of wasted time, I mean, we put a lot of time as stylists into scheduling the entire day. You start the day, you look at what's going on, you change all your other schedules based on those appointments. So when someone doesn't show up, it is not just that loss of, let's say, a 45-minute haircut and color. It is a much bigger loss of your time and effort. So this can help minimize that loss for you. You can also utilize the wait list automatically if, let's say, John once again wants that haircut sometime on Wednesday afternoon. And then you can have any of those gaps automatically filled. So I'm going to pop over here to Mangomint. Now Mangomint is another option, and it is much more widely available. It does have an intuitive interface. It has very good customer support. However, it's not really meant for independent stylists. It is a good solution for larger hair salons. If you have a big salon, but let's say you are just a stylist working by yourself trying to save money, just me, They even tell you right up front, sorry, we think you're awesome. You can pay for us, but it's not really going to work. It's mostly meant for bigger teams with the pricing and the plans and what they give you. As you can see here, for a small team up to 10 providers, $165 a month, that's going to be pretty expensive if you are working by yourself. Now, that said, they do have a good calendar and scheduling option with online bookings and what is called their express bookings. So express bookings is where you can collect client information over the phone and make those appointments very quickly. And then you send them a link. And from that link, they review those details. They add their credit card. They look at your cancellation policy if you have one. And where appropriate, they can upload photos. If, for example, you are scheduled with a new client on Wednesday, not John, but perhaps John's sister, and she wants a new haircut and color, but she doesn't know exactly what she wants and you've never seen her before, instead of having her come in for that consultation, if she doesn't have the time, she can send pictures. So you know ahead of time what her hair color is, what her length is. You can sort of gauge thickness, and then from there you can see what she wants to do. So you know the amount of effort you have to do, what types of products you might need to stock up, and everything will be saved and ready for her payment processing when she's done. So I'm going to pop over here to Vagaro. Vagaro has a similar layout. It has similar features and prices, but it also has a front-facing marketplace. So that is something to consider if you are looking for a good booking software for your salon that also helps you maximize your marketing and returns through that type of marketplace. So the marketplace looks a little different, and you can list your business for free depending on the subscription price you pay. And from there, people can find you. They can just log right in, as you can see on this type of calendar function, say, hey, I'm looking for someone to do a cut and color, or to do a blowout before an event, or one-time hairstyling for prom. And it'll pull up your business if you are in close proximity to that particular person. Now, other features, of course, are the online booking options, where people can find you on other sites like Google. They can find you on Vagaro. And then when you are setting up your business, you can manage the calendar, and from that calendar function, add easy appointments with a single click, much the same as you saw with Fresha, and of course, similarly structured to Mangomint. Now, my final option for some of the top or best booking software for salons is Boulevard. Now, Boulevard, in my mind, is significantly improved over the interface of Mangomint just because the clean layout here. Now, it is going to cost you more, so if you are a larger company, this will work better for you. Much the same as Mangomint, it's not really designed for beginners. If you're by yourself, it might be a little too costly. Now, if you have a team, this is going to be a great way to manage bookings. So one of the things I noted over here with Fresha is that though this is tangential to being able to book appointments, there's limited information when you look here at the client page, client profiles. By comparison, anytime I'm booking an appointment here on the calendar with Boulevard and I pull up who they're working with, Vicky, I get a much more comprehensive set of information about Vicky. I can see whether she needs accommodations. I can see whether we have messaged her to confirm her appointment or not. I can look at what things she has done in the past, products, packages, any forms that she has filled out or forms that she needs to fill out, whether she is part of our loyalty package. So there's a lot here. Now, this is a very busy day. All of our staff members are working really hard today. With that front desk, though, I can see who has checked in, who hasn't checked in, who's confirmed, who's completed for the day. I see who we have going on here, and look at this. Nikki and Margie are completely open in the morning. They're completely open right here. So if someone calls in and it rings right up here, I can just click new appointment. So who's that new appointment going to be? Let's see if Sarah is here. Sarah, nope, but Savannah is here. So we're going to add Savannah. She wants a blow dry, and she wants it with Lisa. So we see what we have here, blow dry with Nikki, corrective color with Lisa, right? Those are the two services that she has done in the past. So if she calls in or if she texts and sends us a message, it's going to pop up right here. I can easily book that appointment. I can see what times we have available, best times, all the times based on the day of the week, based on who she's working with, and so on. So that makes it very easy to book new appointments, to fill these gaps, and of course, to add times for blocking. If someone needs to go to lunch, we're going to say lunchtime. Reason for the event, personal or business. Very simple. I don't even need as many reasons to block things off as I do over here with Fresha. So those are my top options. I would genuinely consider GlossGenius were it not for the fact that it's not available in Canada. Square is wonderful for those who are working on commission or an independent stylist by yourself. You want to keep things free and simple. If you're ready to move up a bit, Aura is a good option. Fresha is a good option. Both of these help you utilize comprehensive features. Of course, the sales capacities, the automated reminders. GlossGenius is the same with online booking as well as the marketing tools and the payment processing, but they do have different costs associated with them. And as you start to scale your business and you want more and more features above and beyond those simple booking functions, Vagaro is going to have that front-facing platform for you. Mangomint and Boulevard are going to give you much more comprehensive services, but of course Boulevard, in my mind, has the winning front desk feature here to facilitate better booking, easy communication with all of your clients as they are making appointments, and of course the ability to manage that front desk phone line for easy appointments as well.